Hello, everyone. My name is James Suhan. I'm a graduate support engineer here at E1 Solutions. And in this video, I'm going to do a little bit more of a breakdown of the system versus connector roles in Popdock. So to start off, here I am in my Popdock sandbox environment. So the big thing when it comes to security is with this revamped system is there's now system roles versus connector roles, and those operate differently and independently from each other. So I'm going to go ahead, get over into security here. We are just going to open up my user account. And here we are. So I'll start off with system roles. So that is this section up here in the upper left. Those are your system. Connectors are in each individual one. So the system roles are more based around what Popdock can do as its own software, or what you can do inside of the product. So as you can see, there's a couple of these here. So administrator, for example, can update account settings and add and delete connectors. So that is all purely based on. So if I go ahead and open this in a new tab, I should bring up our connectors. So that is purely for this area here. This is what data role affects. We have other things like favorite administrator, lock, unlock, delete, and change ownership of favorites, scheduler, security, widget. These are all just administrative roles for each individual feature inside of Popdock. Primarily, system roles are going to apply to what you see here: your connectors, widgets, endpoints, scheduler, security, a lot of things along those lines. Basically functions inside of the web app itself, which everything here has its description. This description is very straightforward. What you see is what you get. Now, obviously, there's other ones here: Excel, user, favorite reader, scheduler, security, widget contributor. Again, it all ties into what function within the web app itself you're going to be operating. So that's the basis of system roles. Now where it gets interesting is connector roles. So over here, as you can see, here's a list of all of the available connectors here inside of this sandbox account. Your list will be reflective of what connectors you have. If you have a GP connector and a sample data connector, there's only going to be those two options. You're not going to have random Business Central when you don't connect to Business Central. So I'm just going to grab my GP gateway here. As you can see, there is a roles section here as well. This roles section is your connector roles. These operate independently of these. Connector roles are more primarily based on what you can do inside of that connector. So I will go ahead over here and just open up that connector real quick. So as you can see, we're in my new GP Gateway connector, and that is what we are looking at up here, is the connector permissions and security for this. So as you can see, there's a lot more permissions that go into this, and each of them have their own specified function. User, for example, allows you to view the data from the connector. Pretty straightforward. Without user, can't really open anything as a new tab. And then you have Excel Exporter. This allows your account to export data to Excel files using our export function on the lists, custom list admin, data lake related stuff. This has its own administrator as well. This is primarily more for changing this data, adding companies, groups, lists, custom lists, basically just any changes you would make to this connector, being able to change these settings, all of that stuff. API administrator allows you to run stuff as an API user is needed. Contributor, custom list admin, you kind of get the idea. These are all independent of your system roles. System affects the overall product. Connector affects what you can do in that specific connector. As you can see, there's plenty of other ones here as well: lookups, exports, custom list action, API, just about anything and everything you could need. Query builder as well. All that stuff is included in the connector roles, and that's all based off of functionality you can change here inside of this connector as well.